They say two heads are better than one and the brain knows no language, but they can't both be true, so which is it? Oh my gosh, you guys, Trace here for D News, and I have got an amazing story. Two rats on two continents were networked via the internet brain to brain, and they were able to upload and download signals across that network from America and Brazil. A Duke neurobiologist published this fantastic brain to brain interface in the journal Scientific Reports this week, and this is how the experiment worked. Researchers attached electrodes to the motor cortex of a lab rat and trained it to assess the size of a hole using only its whiskers. If the hole was small, the rat was trained to touch a lever on the left, and if it was wide, the lever on the right. It turns out rats are actually pretty good at this, and after some training, our little friend was at a 95% success rate. This rat is called the encoder. Here's where the real fun starts, though. The real experiment wasn't about hole size, but was about learning if one rat's brain would accept messages from another rat. So they took a second rat called the decoder, who'd never checked out hole sizes with his whiskers, added the same electrodes, and flipped the switch. When the first rat's whiskers felt how big the hole was and hit the lever, the second rat, who had no hole in his cage, only identical levers, hit the same lever 2/3 of the time. The second rat's brain was responding to the thoughts of the first rat. The implications here are huge. While this isn't technically mind reading, more like action reading, this is the very first example of real-time connection between two animal brains. Transferring motor skills could help people with brain injuries recover their skills, or I know Kung Fu. Okay, it's not like a mind meld or anything, and it's only one way. It's a pretty simple experiment, but that's just the first step to something bigger. According to the study, the longer the two rats were connected, the more in sync they became. And the researchers determined that the two brains, because they were communicating in real time, were learning to work together, like a network. After you touched the whiskers of the first rat, the second rat would react as if you touched his too. Mostly, I just want to know what this rat is thinking and feeling. Is it a thought? Is it an urge? Is it an inkling? Is it like using the force? You have to let it flow through you. Or is there something more plastic and physical going on? Like when you twitch for no reason. I'm sure we'll hear more about this in the coming years as more complex tasks and animals are linked together. But this might be the beginning of the creation of a living brain network, a la the Borg or the Matrix or that episode of Stargate SG-1 or some other dystopian future. If you could be linked to another brain, would you want to be? Whose brain would you want to be linked to, and why? I'd love to see if I could learn to play the piano, hook me up to some famous piano player or something. Since you can't just download them to us, type out your thoughts and comments and subscribe to D News so you can get up-to-the-minute coverage of the stories that make your neurons fire. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.